So it's not going to be a happy Thanksgiving or holiday season for the Chrisleys, because not only has their show, the reality show Chrisley Knows Best, has been canceled, they may have to give up their $9 million mansions in Tennessee to pay off their restitution. That's almost $20 million. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So if you missed our latest update on the Chrisleys being sentenced, just a quick recap of that. If not, be sure to check out that video. So Todd Chrisley and Julie Chrisley have been sentenced. Todd for 12 years in prison and Julie Chrisley for 7 years. And a lot of people were very concerned because Grayson Chrisley was recently in the news for an accident that he got into. And a lot of you are concerned, what's going to happen to Grayson? What's going to happen to Chloe? Well, according to Savannah Chrisley, she already will be their guardian while both Todd and Julie will be serving their time. So along with them both combined serving nearly 19 years in prison, nearly 20 years in prison, they also owe over $17 million in restitution. Let's just get into this. So a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen to Chrisley Knows Best. So I thought Chrisley Knows Best, it was already assumed that it had been canceled, but official word came out just yesterday that Chrisley Knows Best, the popular reality show that highlighted and made a lot of people fall in love with the Chrisleys, has been officially canceled over at NBC Universal, you know, the home of Bravo. So Todd Chrisley and Julie Chrisley's reality show, Chrisley Knows Best, has been canceled after their sentencing, Page 6 has learned. The network has some episodes of season 10 of Chrisley Knows Best that were shot prior to the trial that will air next year, a source tells Page 6. The couple's spinoff, Growing Up Chrisley, has also been canned. There has been no official word from the NBC Universal on the cancellation. It should have been, as soon as that they were convicted a couple of months ago, there should have been already confirmation that this has been done. It's done for them. As I said, there's no official word from NBC Universal. On Monday, Todd, 53, and Julie, 49, were sentenced to 12 years and 7 years in prison, respectively, for fraud and tax evasion. Both of the U.S. network personalities were also sentenced to 16 months probation. 1 month before the duo's conviction over the summer, Chrisley Knows Best was renewed for its 10th season. And a lot of you, I know what you're thinking, damn, NBC has a lot of criminals. Well, as for Growing Up Chrisley, news broke in May that the spinoff was moving from USA to E after 3 seasons. I never watched Growing Up Chrisley. That was not one of the shows that I've watched. I did watch Chrisley Knows Best, and I get why people were so fascinated and love this family. Even with the pre-produced moments from Chrisley Knows Best, they were all entertaining. And the star, of course, was Todd Chrisley. But there have been questions about how they made their money. And now we know how they made their money. So how are they going to pay off? So one of the things that they also face now, besides their sentencing and home confinement, they also now will have to pay over $17 million in restitution. Okay, money that is owed. And apparently, I didn't even realize this. I thought they only had one mansion in Tennessee. I haven't been up on the Chrisleys in a while. Apparently, they have $2 million mansions in Tennessee. So according to the New York Post, it says, when it rains, it pours for the Chrisley household. Perhaps Todd and Julie Chrisley, stars of Chrisley Knows Best, don't actually know best. And things are about to get even worse for the duo just when they thought that they had hit rock bottom. So after they were sentenced to a combined 19 years in prison on a bank fraud and tax evasion charges, in addition to submitting false documents to the bank, it appears that they are going to have to give up their 2 glam homes as well. Judge Eleanor Ross of the U.S. District Court in Atlanta ordered the reality stars to pay $17.2 million in restitution in relation to their $36 million fraud scheme. And sources tell the Post that they'll likely have to give up their 2 Nashville, Tennessee mansions worth roughly $9 million in order to fulfill their obligation. They're going to have to give up a lot of things, including their homes, sadly. They won't be able to afford it, the insider said, but their main concern now is their children, especially their youngest boy, Grayson Chrisley. The news of the couple's sentencing comes days after their youngest son, 16-year-old Grayson Chrisley, was hospitalized for a crash on the Tennessee interstate. Todd and Julie also share a son, Chase, 26, and daughter, Savannah, 25. Savannah recently revealed that she has custody of her brother Grayson and niece, Chloe, after her parents were sentenced to prison. So they've probably been working on this, especially after the guilty verdict that happened a few months ago. So I'm not surprised that they moved all of these different things into place just in case that they were sentenced to prison, even though I heard that they were going to fight it. The Post does highlight some of this mansion, and if you've watched the Chrisleys Knows Best, then you've seen these Georgia mansions. Apparently, one of the mansions that they bought, okay, so in 2016, when the couple first moved to the Music City, Nashville, they purchased a Belle Meade 4-bedroom home for $1.6 million. That property, which spans more than 5,200 square feet, is worth an estimated $2.88 million today, according to Zillow. 3 years later, they purchased a second and bigger home in Brentwood neighborhood for $3.37 million, now worth an estimated $5.97 million. So they made some smart choices in their real estate. So the Chrisleys attempted to flip the 6-bedroom, 9-bathroom home only 2 months after purchasing it. The 13,200 plus square foot home has since glided on and off the market with an average price tag of $4.7 million. But without any offers, they took the home off the market in May of 2020. As you know, that was only a couple of months after the pandemic started. So Todd, 54, and was sentenced, as you already know, to 12 years behind bars and 16 months of probation. Julie, 49, received a lighter sentence of 7 years in prison and 16 months of probation. Lighter, however, both years. Remember, these folks are in their 50s and about to be in their 50s. This amount of time is, by the time you come out of prison, you're already for retirement, but they still owe millions of dollars in restitution. Will NBC Universal, USA, or E be interested in life after lockup for these two? Very possible. They're all about their business any way that they can make a buck, even if it's at the expense of people that have been defrauding any sort of system. We've seen it before. It wouldn't be the first time. Part of the reason why I pointed out that this show is a part of the NBC Universal family, along with Bravo. The next sentencing that we have to cover will be Jen Shah from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That is coming on Meredith Marks' birthday, December 15th. So stay tuned for that. A lot of people are making predictions, but every jurisdiction is very different. I'm not a lawyer. However, I do understand that every judge is going to have their own they'll have their guidelines, but then they will make their own decisions based off of the individual. But as always, guys, what do you think that Jen Shah will get? You saw what the Chrisleys have gotten here. What do you think that Jen Shah will get after defrauding elderly people out of millions and millions of dollars? As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.